In the north of the Isle of Man, overlooking the Irish Sea, lies the white church of St Patrick at Jurby. In the church there lives a family of mice, Daisy and Fred Pheric, and their friends and relations. Pheric is Manx for Patrick. Daisy and Fred had always wanted to explore the island, and they were delighted to be given a ticket by their friends for a week's holiday flying around the coast. So this is the story of the flight of the Pherics, as they enjoy their holiday around the beautiful Isle of Man. The Jurby Mice take to the air. The trip of a lifetime for Daisy and Fred Pheric. What a wonderful gift, Daisy said, hugging Fred. A flight round the island from friends, the card read. With suitcases packed, they soon reached the Airs to board Misty the seagull for a week without cares. Just round the headland appeared Ramsay Bay, with a stop at the Grove for a game of croquet. Then past Murrick Park with its flower beds so bright, seeing boats in the harbour filled them with delight. They flew over the headland to the quaint Mackle Church to visit Manx crosses Fred loved to research. Inside the church he was so pleased to find the cross with 3 legs on, the first of its kind. Misty followed the coast, looking down on Portmore, with Macklehead Lighthouse above the seashore. Over 2 pretty glens, then the steep Bulgham Bay, where they spotted the tram as it sped on its way. They circled the wheel as it turned slowly round, and bought ice cream cornets for under £1. But on leaving the beach, Daisy spotted the mill, where they wove the Manx tartan, which gave her a thrill. Next, Baldrine and Clayhead and Bollinet, with a wave to the ducks that they'd never forget. They loved Groudle Glen with its wheel and steam train, before reaching the bustle of town life again. The 2 country mice really had a surprise, seeing rows of hotels as they flew through the skies. Cars, bikes and buses all sped down the road, and they saw their first horse tram pulling its load. Misty showed them the tower built on Conister Rock, coming down in the car park where big ferries dock. Fred climbed in a sidecar, which he'd booked for a ride, whilst Daisy went cruising with a knowledgeable guide. They both enjoyed watching the Ben sail away to Heysham, where she would arrive by midday. Then all of a sudden Manannan appeared, so they stood on the quay where they both cheered and cheered. Leaving Douglas behind, they kept up with the train, right to Ballasalla, where they tried to refrain from a stop at the factory where Manx fudge was made, then on past the airport where they'd like to have stayed. Castletown was their next overnight stay. Inside Castle Rushen were stone walls so grey. Their host showed them round all the interesting rooms, then walked round around Scarlet and viewed the schoolrooms. Early next morning, Misty took them away, looking down from the skies on the next yachting bay. They were joined by the Chuffs over Sugarloaf Rock, then on to meet Bess and her husband called Brock. Cregneash was the prettiest place that they'd seen, with its tiny white cottages and gardens pristine. Daisy with Bess watched the dancing display, leaving Fred and friend Brocky to rake in the hay. Misty showed them the seals that lived in the Sound, and the hundreds of birds on the Calf, safe and sound. Then, over Mole Hill with its ancient stone circle, Milner's Tower on the left where the heather's bright purple. Very soon, Misty landed in Port Erin town, leaving Daisy and Fred happily wandering around. After seeing all the shops, they set off for the beach to enjoy tea at the cafe with a big cupcake each. The next part of their trip was a total surprise, as the sight of the cruiser brought tears to their eyes. The beautiful bay and the sea looking calm, with the pretty thatched cottages adding their charm. Although they'd have loved some more time at Nyarble, the herring gull voyage really gave them a thrill. As Fred said to Daisy, "It's just you and me, we're the luckiest mice that there ever could be." The castle at Peel slowly came into view, where they said their goodbyes to the captain and crew. With kippers for breakfast and ruins to explore, homemade ice cream came next, with flavours galore. They found Misty was waiting to take them away over Apple Tree Farm on the very next day. They saw all the tents at the Glenwillan site and the bridge at Ballath, which gives bikers a fright. They'd heard all about the great wildlife park, so Misty arranged a quick stop before dark. The meerkats were Daisy's big favourite of all, but Fred liked the penguins, so stately and tall. All good things sadly must come to an end, as the church of St. Patrick appeared round the bend. But Daisy and Fred knew, although they could roam, as that old saying goes, there's just no place like home. Thank you, Misty, for the trip of a lifetime.